And we're back here at the stock recap show. It is 25 January 2023, and I'm super excited to get into it today. But first, super important disclaimer. These videos are all intended for educational purposes only. Trade at your own risk. 9 out of 10 traders lose money. 1 in 3 traders loses 90% or more. There's no guarantee you're going to make money with this strategy or any other strategy. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Results are not typical. We got a high fly ball, and it is out of here. ALTI was up 65.41%, followed by GOVX up 58.89%, and ARDS was up 46%. We're going to pull up the charts here. So ALTI was big breakout today. If you actually zoom in, I think this got halted a few times on the way up. It went from 10 to 26 in about a couple hours. So that was exciting if you're watching in the moment. It didn't even trade all that many shares, so I'm really interested to find out what's going on. I don't even see any news or anything, but just watching it right now. GOVX was some good news. They received notice of allowance for Zika vaccine patent, so that's pretty exciting. It was up 58%. So I'm definitely going to be watching this tomorrow. If we can break this longer period moving average, that's really exciting. ARDS, this was, I think it was on the biggest decliners list yesterday, but here we are with more volume, and it's up 46.43%. So that looks like a good move right there. Hopefully it can continue higher, and it's a really small company though, so maybe not best for overnight holding, but yeah, that's the last notable mover. Now let's get into the about to breakout stocks. It could go, oh, then it's off the wall. HTH was up 32.29%. Okay, this is a $150 million company here, and it looks like it just passed through the longer period moving average. 200 period simple moving average is the daily chart. So the 200 period moving average is the average price of the last 200 days. Okay. Obviously, if we were going to zoom in to like an hourly chart, that longer period moving average is already passed because it's a different time period, right? These are 1 hour increments instead of 1 day increments like the daily chart. Okay, so that's the difference there. And CDTX was also a pretty big notable mover here. I do like this pattern too. It looks good. If you can hold these levels tomorrow, it may be good for a swing trade here. I did like the news too. It looks like an FDA advisory committee recommends approval of one of their drugs, I guess. But it traded 23 million shares, so that had me pretty excited too, especially after this big drop before, because any traders that bet that this stock was going down after this big drop are not really sitting in the best position right now if they still have an open position. Hopefully they're smart about controlling their risk and they know what they're doing, but this looks like it's going higher to me, especially after the news today. Okay, so the last about to breakout stock is LRN, Stride Inc., and this is an online education and training services thing that just announced earnings. So this was a jump because of earnings, which is pretty exciting that it's a kicker pattern up on actual numbers that are coming out, fresh numbers that we haven't seen before. So that has me excited too, LRN. I mean, there is a little bit of overhead resistance. It'll probably see resistance at 46 in the coming weeks and months, but we'll see if it can keep moving higher. Okay, so that's it for the about to break out stocks. Now let's get into the scary stocks. Ay caramba. Okay, so Grom is really not looking all that good, and this was a notable mover yesterday. If we look back to the notable movers, Grom was up 44%. just 2 days ago, and here it's on the largest decliners list, down 35.63%, pretty much right at where it was below that, before that 44% move up. Okay, so super small company here, $4 million. I don't think this is very tradable here, even on the short side, because it's so small. I don't really know what's going on. It seems like they placed at the price, at the market, $3 million. Let's see if we can quickly figure out what this was about. So, private placement, approximately $3 million through private placement of this many shares of common stock and warrants to purchase this many shares of common stock. Each share at a common purchase being sold, company warrants, combined effective purchase price of $226. Okay, so if we look back here, $226. Okay, so there was just $3 million placed at $226, which is, a little bit higher, but not that much higher. So that's how you can read news like this. Is you just go in and you check the purchase price of the $3 million or whatever the offering was for. Okay, so that was Grom. HLBZ, Hellbiz. This had a lot of shares traded, more than the shares outstanding. So the entire company turned over, and it was down 29.76%. I am interested to see where this is going, just because it jumped from 14 cents to 56 cents. So that was a pretty big move. It's up 126% on the week. Yeah, it looks good from an analyst recommendation, but I don't see any coverage here by any larger banks, probably because it's only $22 million. Okay, so super risky here, especially being below $1, but we'll see where it goes. And the last notable decliner was PGen. This was down 24.66% in the last 24 hours or so, but the big move was the gap here lower. It looks like it got bought up a little bit, which is a good sign, but let's see what the news was. So an offering. So let's see into this news, $1.75 per share. So if we look back at the market here, you can see that it's trading below what the offering was at, which is, I guess good if you're a potential buyer and you think there's value in this company, because you're getting a better price than what this offering was with $75 million. So that's interesting move there, but we'll see if it can continue to trend higher. It's big volume, 14 million, but I'm worried that was all based off this offering news, which is not going to be the same tomorrow unless they have a secondary offering or something like that. So yeah, interested to see where this is going as well. So that's it for the scary stocks, and that wraps up this stock recap show. If you are interested in accelerating your trade profits and knowledge, then you should book a call on FridayTraders.com. I know it can be incredibly painful and frustrating when you're just starting out in the markets, but there is an easier way, okay? That's all I have for today, and happy trading. I'll see you in the next show. See you there.